Welcome back everyone to your Saturday evening second stimulus check and second stimulus package update. Today is Saturday, December 12th, and in this video, we have some news to uncover for you in regards to your next stimulus check, as well as the vaccine and other developing news that's been cycling. So without further ado, let's get started right away. But before we even scratch the surface, you know the protocol, you know the formality. If you have been enjoying my content, you do respect the effort, you respect the daily uploads with no exceptions, no excuses, just go ahead and do a quick favor for me. Hit that like button, just give the video a big thumbs up, smash the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Just help with that YouTube algorithm, so it does support me and my channel, and we'll also get more eyeballs on the video so everyone will be in the know and more privy to what is going on, so it's mutually beneficial. And if you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button, become a subscriber, it's totally free to do so. Hit that big red button, also that notification bell as well. That will just notify you every single time I do make a brand new video. You'll be first in line to see it before anyone else, and you'll be right on time, and you'll be up to date with the consistently cycling news. Have to briefly thank all the new subscribers that have come on board in just the last 48, 72 hours alone. We've gotten so many more subscribers. I recently hit 4,000 subscribers, all because of you guys. I couldn't do this without you watching and your support. So once again, I do not take your support for granted. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who watches my videos and supports my channel. So let's get the ball rolling. If you didn't know already, you're probably living under a rock because this is such breaking news, such historic, momentous news. The vaccine has been authorized by the FDA and it has been approved. It is on the way. It is coming, and Americans are ready to get vaccinated. It was cleared for emergency use last night, Friday night. States have began their own preparations to start receiving this vaccine within days, and millions of Americans are eagerly waiting to get inoculated. Deaths all over America, of course, are spiraling out of control and rising sharply, but we're also seeing a rise in college towns more specifically. A lot of young people, even though they are more immune and not as affected, they are seeing a rise in cases. UPS and FedEx are ready and raring to ship this vaccine. They're normally rivals, but they're actually working together to implement this vaccine to millions and millions of Americans. And UPS and FedEx stock, perhaps now is a good time to buy. It surged throughout this pandemic because of online ordering and so much buying. And of course, with the holidays now, it will likely continue to rise. So perhaps now is a good time to invest in FedEx and UPS. The two shipping companies had actually been working on months for the plans to distribute this vaccine and ship it all over America. But now that we have gotten the authorization from the FDA, the two companies are ready to put those plans into action. This is coming on the heels after cases are rising all over the country. We saw just on Friday, the day that the vaccine was approved, a record 236,000 cases. And on Wednesday, for the first time ever, the US has seen 3,000 deaths in just one day, more than 9/11. The country is also approaching the total of 300,000 deaths just in this country alone. We had seen that the chief operating officer of Operation Warp Speed, the federal effort to bring a vaccine to market, he did say that boxes were being packed at Pfizer's plant in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and would be shipped to UPS and FedEx distribution hubs, where they would be dispersed to 636 locations across the country. Pfizer said that shipping would start early Sunday morning, and so in the next 24 hours, we're going to be seeing people get the first vaccines yet in this country. Of course, in the UK, they have already begun vaccinating. He also added, quote, "Make no mistake, distribution has begun." UPS had also said that it expects to start transporting the vaccine on Sunday morning, when employees stationed at Pfizer's facility in Michigan will affix special Bluetooth and radio-enabled tracking tags to each shipment. So these shipments will actually have GPS tracking. In other news, it's worth noting that the Electoral College will be voting and electing officially the next president of the United States, presumably Joe Biden. Ahead of this vote, we saw thousands and thousands of Trump supporters march on the National Mall in what was called the, quote, Jericho March, and it was described on their website as a prayer rally with speakers praying for the, quote, walls of corruption and election fraud to fall down. So at least a percentage of Trump supporters are still not backing down. They are still believing that Joe Biden won this election wrongly and unfairly. Okay, you've made it this far. Thank you for watching. Now we can discuss the status of your next stimulus check and the next stimulus package. So we're left with a lot of variables here. We don't know if it's going to be a $600 check or a $1,200 check. Will it pass right before the new year, or will it pass in 2021? Well, members of Congress and lawmakers and negotiators are going to be working through the weekend to ensure and hopefully pass relief this coming week and work on the language of the new bill. We do know for sure that the pressure is mounting and looming for Congress to pass a deal before the end of the month. We are also cognizant of the fact that at the center of these negotiations is that $908 billion bipartisan proposal that was crafted and drafted by both sides of the aisle. Now, this proposal, it does talk about and it does discuss renter evictions. It talks about and will call for more unemployment insurance, but no mention of a second stimulus check. So while that should be disheartening and discouraging, we're actually somewhat more hopeful now than before. This is because, number one, leaders from both sides of the spectrum are in support of a new stimulus check, and there are growing calls from top leaders that firmly support and are now saying that the bill should actually enter this new proposal. Republican Senator Josh Hawley made an impassioned plea for a stimulus check to enter the agreement. He had said, quote, "It would be a dereliction of duty if Congress adjourns for Christmas without having a vote on providing working families with direct payments." He actually teamed up with Senator Bernie Sanders, an independent, on a plan that would amend the $908 billion plan to include a check. Bernie Sanders said, quote, "We're not going to go home for the Christmas holidays unless we make sure that we provide for the millions of families in this country who are suffering." Now, as we've covered in previous updates, in response to that $908 billion bipartisan plan, the White House offered its own $918 billion proposal, and that one would send $600 in stimulus checks to all eligible qualifying Americans, as well as qualifying dependents as well. Now, that would put some money in people's pockets. Of course, it's not as much as $1,200, but $1,200 would go to couples, and of course, each child would get $600. So by making adult earners and child dependents equal, what you are effectively doing is providing more benefit to families with more children than individual earners or married couples with no children. Now, to cover the cost of these checks, the White House would effectively reduce unemployment aid. Now, it's not going to totally get rid of all the provisions surrounding it. It would just not have any supplemental unemployment insurance at the federal level. Now, if the easiest way for Congress to reach an agreement is leaving out a stimulus check this year out of this year's plan, then Congress, based on Biden's own economic plans, would in fact implement a new stimulus check once Biden takes office after January 20th. In his own words, Biden said, quote, "Any package passed in lame duck session is," which we are in right now, this is the lame duck period between Election Day and Inauguration Day. He said it's at best just a start on December 4th. The insanity and tragedy in this all is that virtually every single person in government and law is in favor of sending out new direct payments. And of course, the American people are as well. According to surveys, most Americans are in favor of new stimulus checks. That shouldn't be a surprise. We have top congressional leaders in both chambers of Congress on the Republican side, the Democratic side, 100% agrees that there should be new payments. And the White House, President Trump, said that he would want to see direct payments go to Americans. Everyone's in favor of it, and yet we still cannot get an agreement. Every country right now must be laughing at us. We must be the laughing stock of the world between the handling of the virus and the fact that lawmakers cannot provide relief in just the last 9 months. They couldn't provide any relief since March. Totally ridiculous. We're almost on 300 days we're approaching with just one $1,200 check as far as direct payments. That's it. That's what's going to get us through 9 months. Absolutely stupid. The very people that we elected ourselves, we elected these people. They cannot provide relief for us. They have totally abandoned us. Perhaps they're too hungry on the power that they hold and they only care about themselves. They were able to quickly and briefly fund themselves, their own government, a government-funded plan for the next week. That was easy. They were able to do that quite quickly. But relief to Americans? Not gonna happen. But that is the current state of affairs, whether you like it or not. I give it to you straight. I don't sugarcoat anything. That's where we are right now. If you did enjoy this update, give it a big thumbs up. Smash the like button for me. It's greatly appreciate that. And if you want to see more videos on my channel, be sure that you are subscribed, have that big red button clicked, and make sure that you are, in fact, a subscriber if you're not already. And if you'd like to be notified every single time I do make new videos, that you'll be first in line to see it before anyone else, click that notification bell as well. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one.